Hey guys, Cam 15 back at another video for you guys. Back talking more ReZero. Finally, ReZero is back. We are back with season 4, and I cannot wait to talk more ReZero because my goodness, this show is such a goated show. So the more I get a more ReZero, the more I just love to talk about it. Last season was absolutely insane. And I definitely can't wait to go into this season. Definitely can't wait to go into this season. Now, it only makes me insensitized to go back and rewatch season 2 and then season 3 in the dub. Now, again, for people who don't know, I watch anime. I prefer watching anime in English dub, but if they have the sub version, I just stick with watching the sub version. Now, surprisingly enough, on Crunchyroll, they did a same day dub, same day subbed for ReZero in terms of season 4, episode 1. So I don't know if going forward for the rest of the season, if every Wednesday is going to be a same day dub, same day subbed episode. We'll see. We'll see. But anyways, this episode is it had its crazy moments, it had its emotional moments, and it just has this hype levels of what we're going to get into in this season. So, obviously, you remember from last season, Subaru and the gang had to defeat the archbishops, and they defeated a few of them. They obviously defeated Wrath, and they defeated the one girl who we more than likely think is Fortuna, just turned into an archbishop of sin. But Gluttony obviously escaped, and then essentially ate Julius's memories, which I honestly forgot. Like, it's been a while since I've seen season 3. I probably should have rewatched all of season 3 going into this season, but regardless, right? So we start the episode off with Subaru and the others just talking about the fact that Julius' memories are gone, or people's memories of Julius are gone, and they don't remember who he is. Obviously, Julius knows who he is, and Subaru does know who he is, but everyone else around him doesn't know who they are. So basically, this is when they come with the plan of saying, okay, we got to go see one of the heroes, and that is the sage Shala, right? Which, surprisingly enough, she looks like she was like Subaru, like a reverse Subaru, like a girl version of Subaru from what we see in the trailers, right? But anyways, I guess we'll see what she has to do now. She's apparently a hero. There's 3 heroes in this world, and she's one of them, and she's a sage. So I would have to imagine she's pretty strong. And the reason why they're gonna go see her is to see if they can, if I guess you could say if she knows a way to heal the people that have been affected by gluttony, right? And the whole memory forgetfulness thing. So this is when they come to a decision of like they're gonna have a team. So we see the team of Subaru, Beatrice, Amelia, Julius, and Anastasia. They're gonna go through the Great Dunes, which insanely enough is a place that not even Reinhardt was able to get through. Like, Reinhardt was talking about how he wasn't able to get through this dungeon, and we know how strong and how OP Reinhardt is. For him to say, yeah, I wasn't able to overcome that, that's crazy. And 2, we also find out like there's a lot of mob beasts in this area, so it probably adds to the reason why it's such a difficult venture to go through this dungeon to go just find the sage, right? So you have this team split now. Reinhardt and the others, they're taking the one archbishop, the Fortuna looking one. They're taking her away, right? And obviously Reinhardt's got to look after Felt because that's obviously the princess candidate that he's got to look after, right? So essentially what we see happen essentially next up, right, is they're going to the Dune. Now you get a moment where, again, you have multiple moments where Subaru and Julius have this talk about excuse me, his memories and everything. And obviously you just have Subaru like, dude, don't be like this. Like, look, we're gonna get your memories back, everything's gonna be a-okay, and we're gonna do this for you, man. So no need to put the depressed act. Like, You're still Julius. You're still one of the strongest guys I know, and things like that, right? So essentially, what happens is Anastasia and Subaru have a talk alone, right? Subaru's just kind of staying up to watch over, and Anastasia is just chilling. And then we get one of the most insane reveals, right? So Subaru was kind of pressuring Anastasia, basically saying, like, all right, tell me the truth. Who the hell are you? Because you're not Anastasia. And obviously Anastasia's like, oh, I figured that you would find that out and everything. What led you on to me? And he's just like, I could tell you're different from the way she acts. And plus, Priscilla was talking about how, or just calling you a vixen and everything, right? And this is when she reveals she's echidna. And when I was listening to this, I'm like, are you fucking serious? Echidna, the same witch that we had to deal with in season 2, who, let's be honest, gives off waifu material, but she is an evil person, right? And Anastasia's like, whoa, before you start judging, I'm not that echidna, right? I'm not the echidna that you may know of. We basically find out she's a spirit of echidna that doesn't know anything in the past of the actual echidna that lived in the world, and the witch, right? Echidna. But basically, she is basically inhabited the body of Anastasia. And it seemed like her and Anastasia has like some sort of binding contract to help it out. And basically, the reason why Anastasia, or echidna, right? Basically, wants to see the sage is to see if she can do something to help Anastasia and separate them in a way to basically not have this whole thing. We also find out, like, using magic and everything actually puts pressure on her body, and that's the thing. And we hear from Echidna that basically Anastasia and hers had conversations, and Anastasia has given her consent to use her body the way she needs to use it to achieve their goals. So Echidna's like, listen, look, this is my selfish desire, so I'm not going to let nothing stop or get in my way of accomplish what I need to accomplish. And also Echidna's like, but at the same time, I know you want something selfish of you, and that's obviously he wants to bring Rem, and she's like, don't you want to bring that Sleeping Beauty? Especially, I think if we're going to see the sage, it would help. So Echidna's basically like, all right, let's stop by Roswell's mansion, pick her up, and let's go head to the dunes, right? So regardless, this reveal was absolutely insane. The fact that there is an echidna in Anastasia's body, and it's just a soul. Again, I don't know what that's supposed to mean or anything. I don't know if maybe at some point she's going to remember who she really is. But basically, we find out she's so much similar to that, akin to that of like Beatrice, right? So there's that, right? But anyways, they get back to Roswell Mansion. They tell Roswell what's been going on and everything, and they're like, "Oh, well, okay, if that's what you need to do, then you need to do." So there's that, right? And obviously, too, Subaru's like, "I got to take Rem because, listen, it's the only way I can feel like maybe we can find an answer to fixing her and getting her back." Because obviously we know some people, when it comes to the Archbishop of Gluttony, some people are in like what her state, which is a comatose state. Other people are up and aware that their memories are just gone and stuff like that. And again, they're also trying to find out from the Witch of Lust, right? And see how they can heal the body parts that are obviously injured. So we'll see what's gonna go on. But Subaru also makes a stop, and he also wants to pick up another member, and that is Melly, right? You remember the girl, Melly from the first season when she had these freaking mob beasts, and you got that moment in the freaking first season when Subaru had to find his way out to stop Melly from summoning the mob beast. So basically, Subaru is talking with Melly, and essentially she says like, hey, and he's like, hey, look, we need you because the dunes have a bunch of mob beasts, and we know you're very talented mob beasts and everything. And she's like, oh yeah, I did get some of Mob Beats from that area, so I've been there. And basically, Subaru's just, long story short, he's trying to get her to join and help, and she's like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll help. And Subaru's like, wait, what? You're gonna help? And she's like, yeah, I'll help. Plus, it'd be cool to get outside and stretch my legs and things like that. Now, Melly does say, like, look, don't act like I'm gonna be turning into what you did with Beatrice and Petra and be your friend and be a maid and everything. Like, get something straight. I'm not gonna be like that. Like, we're not friends, right? She basically making it learn. Now, I don't know if Melly at some point is gonna betray them now that she's free. It seems like she won't, because it seems like she willingly is wanting to go. So I guess we could trust her for now, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe she betrays us, but we'll see. We'll see. It is crazy, but okay, Melly's gonna be an important factor, right? So there's that. And then realistically, the last bit of the episode is you get this emotional moment between Garfield, who again stopped by his mom's place, who doesn't remember who he is, and essentially he gets very emotional again, and to the point he starts crying out, and he basically starts calling his mom his mom and everything, and she comforts him to make him feel better and everything. And again, like I said, she doesn't believe like that's Garfield and everything, but she treats him in that motherly way, like, as if, okay, it's clear you need a motherly figure, I can be that for you and everything. So yeah. So as they're saying their goodbyes, right, she's just like, hey, if you need a shoulder to cry on, or you need somebody to cry on and just look after you, hey, come here, don't be afraid, right? And it's fun. And we also do find out we do find out the kids' real names, right? Her new family's kids' real name, and everything. So yeah, it was kind of funny how the kids were like, gorgeous tiger, you're not really much of a beast or dude or a guy if you're crying like that. And he's like, well, people gotta cry when they gotta cry. So there's that, right? There's that. But it was pretty cool to see that moment. It was a very emotional scene because, again, that is his actual mom. That's him and Frederica's actual mom, whose memories have been forgotten of them. And, for to have a moment for to have a moment for geez, how did I lose this dude's name? Garfield. Just to be embraced by somebody that he knows is his mom, but the person doesn't know, but it's at the same time gives that motherly feeling. It just hits you in the feel, because it's like, okay, will she ever remember? I don't know, but I guess we'll just have to find out at some point. So we'll see. But anyways, this was a great start. Definitely can't wait to see what we're gonna get with this season of ReZero and things like that. But yeah, but anyways, if you guys like the video, leave a like, comment section your thoughts, hit the subscribe button if you want to get more ReZero content or any other anime content I've uploaded to the channel and things like that. But till then, guys, stay safe out there. Peace.